Shanling 2. Awesome little device, just a single-ended 3.5mm output. Great for, you know, easy to drive or regular in-ear monitors or earphones. Shanling UP5. I tell you what, man, out of all my little gadgets that I have, this is probably the one that I've used the most. I have spent literally hundreds, maybe even more than 1,000 hours with this thing over the last year or so. It's been with me, it's to so many places, and look at it, it's still in perfect condition. And I don't treat my stuff with kid gloves either. I'm pretty rough with my gear. This has been just thrown in shirt pockets, pants pockets, bags, desk drawers, you name it. I do not treat this nicely, but it's still in perfect condition and it still works perfectly as well. But I'm afraid that now the time has come to say goodbye, because this is the Shanling UP5 and that's what I'm looking at today. Let's go. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So here's the Shanling UP5 Bluetooth DAC and amplifier, and you can see it's bigger than the other two. Well, there's reasons for that. First of all, before we get into the build, I just want to look at the little cases that you get with these things. The 2 and the 4 had the same type of case, little plastic case that just clips on, and you got a little clip there. And I've been super happy with these cases. They're very, very useful, just really handy to have. And they've both stood up to the test of time very, very well. They're both in perfect working order, as you can see. With the UP5, you get this nicer, I think it's real leather, but you get this leather case, and it's got this different kind of clip on it. So it's good to clip on a belt, maybe on a shirt around a button or something like that. To be honest, I prefer the functionality of the old clip. I find this much better, much more versatile, but nevertheless, it's a beautiful case. But I have to say, once you put the device in the case, it's a pretty tight fit, and I did have quite a bit of trouble getting it out again. I'm just going to leave it off during this video, but most of the time, yeah, I'm going to keep that on. Although I'm not sure if it really needs it, because like I said, this old case for the UP4 got no cover on the front, but it's still immaculate. Look at it. It's, wow, built like a tank. Anyway, let's get on with it. So this is a Bluetooth DAC and amplifier. Not only that, you can also use it as a wired DAC. You can plug this into your computer via USB Type-C, or you can actually use it with a smartphone via OTG as well. Before I get right into the details, I'll quickly run down the differences between this one and the UP4. The first big difference is this one has a 4.4mm headphone jack, and that is really awesome. Like, oh man, I don't want to start gushing over it already, but this to me is, for someone like me who's got just loads of stuff, heaps of cables, heaps of IEMs, this is such a good thing to have. Look, let me explain. If I want to go out with my Moondrop Kato, which has got a single-ended 3.5mm output, I can do it. If I want to go step up the game a bit and take out my FIR Audio 5X5 with its 2.5mm balanced termination, I can do that. And if I want to take out the It's Fit Fusion with the Braid Magic cable with its 4.4mm termination, I can do that too. I don't have to worry about adapters, having the right cable, having the right termination, whatever. I can pick up literally anything, and I know that it's going to be good to go with this, and that is just such a handy thing. So apart from that, the other differences are, you can see there's a little mode button on the top here, and that is to switch the UP4 between single and dual DAC modes and the low and high gain modes as well. Gone from the top is that button. You'll now find this switch on the side, and it's not just a mode button anymore, it is a multi-function button. It now also acts as the play pause button, and if you hold the button down when the device is turned on, it opens up the menu system. And well, let me turn it on. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. I should have tested this prior before I started recording, because I don't know, but I could be wasting my time and your time if nobody can see, if nobody can see this. But the UP5 now has an OLED display on the front, and you can see right now, or hopefully, I hope you can see, it says AAC, and that's because it's automatically paired to my phone when I turned it on, and I have an iPhone which only does AAC. But that shows you the Bluetooth codec. Like if I hook it up to my Sony DAC, it'll say LDAC. And up here you got a battery meter. There is a little Bluetooth, what is it, an icon to signify that it's connected or paired with something. And over here on the side is the volume readout. Now if I hold down the multi-function button, that'll take me to the menu. And look, I'm just going to run quickly through these. I'm not going to bore you with hours of going through every menu option. You've got low and high gain, DAC mode, dual or single DAC modes. You've got two digital filters. You've got a linear filter and an apodized, or I don't know the full words, probably apodized filter. I'm not going to get into that at the moment. You can turn on your EQ here. You can switch between UAC 2 and UAC 1, and basically that's for, I think, compatibility with older versions of Windows. I could be wrong about that. It also has a car mode now, which is great if you want Bluetooth audio in your car. And you can turn the battery charging on or off, and you can set the brightness of the display as well. And the boot volume, one more thing, yeah. So how loud it is when you boot up the device. And that shows you the firmware version. And I think that's all. Yeah, we're back to the beginning, right? So hold down the button 2 seconds to get out of the menu. And there it is. I hope you saw some of that, because I'm going to talk a little bit about the hardware. Now, it's got a dual DAC chip inside, or dual DAC chips inside. They are the Sabre ESS, I can't remember the number, but I'll put it up on the screen here. So you've got two of those inside, and really what else matters? all the technical stuff I'm not going to talk about. I do get a little more technical in my written reviews, so if you want to check that out, the link is in the description down there. But for now, I'm just going to talk about how it is to use, how it sounds. Now, using it it's wonderful, and that's why I've been using the UP4 so much since I got it, because it's very consistent, it's really reliable, it's got great battery life. It's like as soon as I turn any of these on, it just connects immediately to my phone. I've never had any dropouts, cutouts, Bluetooth bad signals or anything. It just works so consistently. The battery life on this guy is about 15 hours from the single-ended headphone out, and about 11 if you're using the balanced out, I think, from memory. I could be wrong, but keep in mind, if you're using high gain and dual DAC mode, those numbers will be a bit lower. You'll chew up the battery a bit faster. Now, in terms of power output, I've forgotten again. I think the balanced out is up to 240 milliwatts. I'm not sure. I'll put the right number up on the screen here. But anyway, whatever it is quite significant. And I found that I don't really have any headphones, full-size headphones, that this can't drive. Even the planar headphones like the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, my 250 ohm Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros, no problems at all. On high gain, I was only at about like 50 or 60% volume, so there's heaps of power there. So let me talk quickly about how the UP5 sounds. Now, compared to the UP4, I find the UP5 to be a little bit more transparent, a little bit more neutral. And I noticed that mostly in the high frequencies, like in the treble. So the sheen on hi-hats, or the decay on high frequency percussion hi-hats and crash cymbals, just sounds a little bit better, a little bit crisper. There's a bit better detail retrieval. I think the treble extension is slightly better as well. The bass extension also is really good, but I don't find any extra emphasis or any added warmth in the bass. However, the extension is still there, so it does really reach those fantastic low bass notes. So if you've got a good pair of earphones that have nice bass, you're not missing out on anything here. It's got the full range, full dynamic range, full frequency response. It just is a fantastic sounding DAC and amp. It's got that Shanling house sound, but like I said, this time slightly more neutral, a bit more transparent. They're probably aiming towards sort of what topping is known for, which is having a very flat frequency response. And I think that's what they're aiming more towards with the 5 compared to the 4, which is a little bit more musical, slightly warmer. But it does sound wonderful. I really love the sound of this thing, and yeah, it will definitely be replacing my UP4, mainly because of the extra headphone output on the top. I do like the convenience of the OLED screen, but mostly it's just those. So I don't really know what else there is to say. I've probably forgotten a bunch of stuff. I didn't write down any notes for this video. I just jumped on the camera while I had time. So before I wrap it up, let me talk about the price real quick. The price of the UP5 is about $170. Now, it's not cheap, but it's actually cheaper than some of the straight up dongle DACs that I've got. And this has the added functionality of Bluetooth and the OLED screen and the volume control, and oh man, like really, it's great value. It's not cheap, but when comparatively or in the context of what it's competing against, I think it's well worth the money. It's about roughly double, or maybe a little less than double, of the UP4 here. And for that, you're getting the OLED screen, you're getting the extra output power, which will be important to a lot of people, and you're getting the extra headphone jack. So that is the Shanling UP5. I highly recommend it. This has got my recommended award on the on the website, so go and check that out. And yeah, that about wraps it up, guys. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more audio related reviews in the future, go ahead, hit that subscribe, guys. And until next time, I'll see you later.